It is another edition of the On the Mic podcast. And as we just spoke of right before we got on air, it's been literally years. One of the very first fighters I ever interviewed is back on the show, years in the making, and a new home in Bellator MMA, Justine Kish. Justine, how are you?
I'm good. I love my new home. I love it so much. I finally have that momentum I've been so hungry for. So I didn't get that momentum in the UFC. So I can't thank Bellator enough for giving me a second chance, really, and my dreams and my goals, and just giving me this amazing platform, the amazing audience, and the attention. And man, I'm happy. I feel very happy. And even off the losses, everything is just, it came together beautifully. I wouldn't have made the moves I had made if it wasn't for the losses and for the wins. So I'm in a good place right now. How are you?
I'm great. No, I love to hear that. We're going to try and catch up in a short span of time. And, obviously we're going to talk a lot about Bellator and your new home and how things have changed. You'll be rematching DeAnna Bennett at Bellator 284 on August 12th. But first and foremost, I want to kind of peel back the layers on Justine Kish, and I just get right into it. You're someone who changed homes and promotions, right? Went from the UFC to Bellator. Most casual fans would see that as something that they could criticize you for. Well, you made the most of it as soon as you got in your second fight, being a former champion. But before all of that, you had to go through injuries and injuries and injuries, and then you changed promotions. Justine, what was going through your mind, your life at the time as you're rehabbing your body and then knowing that, hey, I've got to go and I'm going to sign somewhere else and I'm going to get this second chapter of my career going?
Lots of things, man. I'm just having flashbacks. Holy shit. So yeah, it wasn't just injuries. It was also, I don't know if you've lost a parent or not, but I was adopted from Russia by an amazing American family. And then dad passed away, but then I had, still had my mom, and she was incredible. And so I was experiencing, she was almost in her 80s and she was very, very sick. So I was trying to help her. I was trying to be a caregiver and also be an athlete. And that was just, and go through injuries at the same time. So really being an athlete, going through a knee surgery, and my mom's sickness and her death. I'm sorry, I don't know if you got any of that. Going through injuries and my mom's sickness and her death. It was so exhausting, but I just told myself, don't give up. Opportunity presents himself. Obviously, my performance struggled a lot. You can see I just wasn't really the fighter I was in comparison to Muay Thai and my earlier MMA fights. And so I knew there was several contributing factors that are why there's so many breaks. And, I even had such a humiliating fight that kind of, put, the brakes on, how I perform. And so it just took finding a certain group of people that helped me get past the mental struggles, the emotional struggles, and the physical struggles. And it was a lot at once. But I'm not the kind of person to give up. It takes a lot for me to give up. I've been fighting since I was born. I've been a fighter. And I know the kind of exit that I want in this career. So I'm going to keep on getting after it, and I'm going to say yes to to everything that Bellator offers me, because they've given me a second chance, and I'm so grateful. And I have a chance to be an MMA world champion. This is what I want to be, and this is where I need to be. Man, it's just, and now I'm in a place that, I know mom's in a good place. I know she's, her spirit is, protecting me in one way or another, right? That's how I feel. That's what makes me feel better. And, it's the wins and losses all guided me to this position in my life where I am right now. And I'm going to make the most of it. I'm going to always give my best. I'm going to, not just, look for people to helping me. I'm going to try to give that energy back too, one way or another. And 3 losses in a row, and they give me #1 contender. I was like, I don't know what they were thinking about me, because that debut against DeAnna Bennett, it wasn't me. It was me being a little too crazy, not really exactly knowing what was going to happen with my moves or with her moves. And so the result of that fight, it definitely made sense, and I wasn't happy with it. I asked DeAnna if we could do a rematch that same night. She was like, okay. And I was like, I really wasn't kidding. But I did get the rematch because now it's August 12th. I want to give Bellator the show that I wanted to give them to see on the debut. So again, here's Bellator being amazing, coming through and giving me a chance like this, and it's very, very, very cool. Of course, there's hardships, there's struggles in every camp, right? So that's what we're facing now. But my eyes are still on the prize.
I love it. Well, first I want to say condolences on the loss, of your mother. So Justine, talking about everything that you kind of experienced, over the last few years and entering into obviously Bellator MMA, was there ever a moment, because we know fighters can kind of crumble under real outside life circumstances, they'll walk away from the sport, or they just will never return the same. Maybe if you can, and I don't know if you had it, if you did, I would love to hear it. Did you ever have to have that moment with yourself, a conversation with yourself, where you go, all right, I've dealt with everything I've needed to deal with, as tragic as it was, from my injuries to the loss of my mother, but I also want to get back to who I know I can be and where I want to be, and this is how I'm going to move forward. Did you ever have that moment?
Oh my God, I have that conversation. I have that conversation a lot with myself. Yeah, 3 losses in a row. I'm like, who's gonna sign me? How am I gonna get to be back to where I want to be? So when I lost to DeAnna Bennett, I had that big conversation. I was like, am I doing the right things? What is going on? Am I not in the right spot? Like, of course you freeze and you take a step back. And my moment, and then something told me, was like, no, you've worked so hard. My goal, it's like, what was my goal? My goal was being MMA champion, right? And maybe it was and then I was like so honed in with UFC. I was like, no, I just want to be an MMA world champion. So I don't know why I put it so much chips into the UFC, because I felt really gutted after being cut. 3 losses in a row, or 2 losses or whatever. They didn't renew my contract, whatever it was. But I'm like, oh my God, where am I going? Who's going to take me next, right? And I've kind of had an experience like that at a really, really young age. Even when my dad passed away, he got hit, it was a car accident, he passed away. And I almost had this conversation when I was younger with I was 6 years old when this happened. I was like, man, am I going back to Russia? What's going to happen? What's going to happen to me? Right? Is my new mom going to, leave me? Of course she didn't. She adopted me. There's so much love there. But I had that conversation with myself even at a young age, as sad it is. But I am pretty good at taking a step back and looking like, all right, is this really realistic? Like, where is this going to take me? Where can this take me? I know this sport, and that fighting brings out the best in me, the best and the worst. And I really want it to, there's a certain, and we can let it shape us for the better or for the worse, right? I feel like if I stay on track, if I still keep my focus towards being on top, being a champion, it's gonna happen one way or another, because I work hard. I'm a student to this sport, to this career, and yeah, that conversation happens a lot, and I try to make sure I'm on top of it. I try to stay sharp, but I know if I'm successful with this career, then the next chapter and things that I want to do, and this is my attitude all of this with competitions and being an athlete is building on the resume, right? And optimizing my performance and the shows that I put on. I love putting on good shows. I love the attention. I love the platform. And don't do well with the speaking part of it, but I love action. So the fact that I'm still in the arena and that I still get to be on the show, I'm going to give my absolute best. And the good things happen. Hardships happen, but also amazing things happen if you just stay the course, if you stay focused. And I'm never, ever going to tap out because of an injury, or never going to give up on my goals in my life just because of an injury or because of hardships. Like, I'm going to leave when I know I'm ready to leave. Like, I want to be on my terms. And I've only got, maybe a couple more years left in me as a fighter. I'm 34 years old. But I see the champs. I'm like, no, I can do what they're doing, if not better. I know I can do it. I just got to put in the time. I have to figure out a way. And you know how the saying goes, when there's a will, there's a way.
I love it. Well, I think you're great at the speaking part. I'll just say that.
Oh,
I'm
thank you. It
not
makes me
biased
more
or
nervous
anything.
than fighting.
I know.
Speaking and doing these interviews make me way more nervous than fighting. I swear. I'm
Well,
sweating so
I
much.
appreciate sometimes it's one question and there's 30 seconds of an answer. So you do great on the speaking side of things. And I appreciate you opening up so much. Talking about Bellator, though, I saw the glow in your face and kind of hear it in your voice, the happiness when you say Bellator MMA, when you say Bellator, when you got signed. And obviously the first fight with DeAnna Bennett did not go according to plan. But damn, Justine Kish, you proved everybody wrong in your second fight, taking out former champion Ilima-Lei Macfarlane, and you did it in her backyard. Like all the dominoes and all the chips went right back into your stock, shot right up so much that you're now in the top 10. When I just say, before we get into your rematch with DeAnna, when I just say Bellator MMA, what does that mean to you as a woman, as a fighter, and really where you are at this stage in your life and career?
It means Justine got a second chance to go for it. That's what it freaking means to me. And this is an amazing company that not just gave me one fight, it gave me multiple fight deal. And I mean, it could have been a lot harder going with less. And you know, I don't know how the universe plays in my favor, or sometimes it doesn't, right? But man, when it plays in my favor, beautiful things happen, big things happen. And that's not when I'm like, oh, okay, I'm here, I can, you know, just, you know, ride it out. No, I want to put the pressure on. That's what I like. I like the pressure, and they respect my pace. It's like nothing against the UFC. It's just so competitive. It's so cutthroat, and it's just like, you know, even girls that won got cut too. And it's like, man, and so it kind of got lost in that pool. And nothing against the promotion. UFC has been great with me. They've been very understanding. But it's just like it's a different sense. It's a different promotion. It's a different company, and maybe this is where I'm supposed to be to shine, because it just seems like I have a little bit more of a voice here. I'm more of my own character here. Maybe that has something to do with the uniforms, with no uniforms. Who knows? I don't care. I'm grateful for this company. I'm happy in this place. I'm much happier in comparison to where I was a couple of years ago. Where was I? I was UFC. I was experiencing mom's death. I was experiencing another knee injury. So who knows what the actual reasons are? But the fact that they signed me and they gave me an opportunity, like if it was anything less, I wouldn't be able to pay my bills or anything. I would definitely have to make more realistic moves. But because of Bellator giving me a second chance, I get to still, you know, it's hard in California, of course it is, but I'm still so close. I can see the big picture. I can see it. I can still see it. If it was anything less, it would have been much harder and probably a little bit more defeating, but it wouldn't stop me. And if I had to work my way back up to there, that's fine too. But man, they saw something in me that I didn't, and because it was crushing, right? You know, it's crushing, and it's like, man. But never once did I think I'm done. I don't want to do this, because I haven't. The audience has not seen what I feel in my heart yet.
I absolutely love it. So what did it say to you and where you're at in your career when I go back to April? You get the big win in Hawaii. Obviously, we saw what it did from a promotional standpoint, right? It got your name on the map. It got you inside the top 10 rankings, and it lined up a fight with DeAnna Bennett. But Justine, from where you're at in your career, what did knocking off a former champion? You've said it for the years that I've known you, that you know you can dominate in this sport at your level, in your division. And then you went and beat a champion in their own backyard when everyone counted you out. What did that say to you about where you're at in your career?
What it told me is I found the right people, the right place that know what I need to do, that know how to get me there, and I put in the work. I'm over at King Harbor Fitness, and these guys over there, like, I came in off of 3 losses. I was just like, hey guys, I lost 3 in a row, but I just got signed with Bellator. Gotta go. I mean, they're just like, I knew I looked like a crazy person to them, but nothing was crazy to them about that. I go, okay, let's do it. And they didn't really know me that well, but now we were like family. And it's like they know exactly what I need to do, where I'm lacking, what I need to put my focus on and struggle. And it was like unlike any other place that I've had. And it took wins and it took losses to find this group of people to help me the way I need to be helped. And like, man, I see the picture is more clear where I am right now. And I mean, heck, I get to train with Cyborg. I get to train with elite athletes at King Harbor. I mean, it's just like, man, the hardships have all been worth it. It just feels so good. You know, it feels so good to be where I am at now and to be able to perform, and that the fact that I get another chance I mean, Bellator, I mean, they really, it's amazing because Bellator is like, it's like they understood that it wasn't my best fight. When I got the debut, when I had my debut, I told my managers, like, please don't tell Bellator not to give up on me. I promise I wasn't a good fight. Please. Next thing you know, they gave me #1 contender. I'm like, oh my God. Okay, wait, hold up. And people are like, no, we got this. We can do it. And I'm like, okay, of course we can. Yeah, we got it. Yes. And it's just those kind of conversations that make this whole experience really absolutely beautiful. And I just cannot thank this platform well enough. It just feels like I can be more myself. I'm not really just like, you know, just like a fish in a big pool. And nothing against UFC, nothing. They've treated me well, but man, I never got the momentum that Bellator has given me now. And I am grateful. I'm gonna give them a freaking best, and I'm gonna show them that when I lost to DeAnna, I'm like, man, I hope Bellator doesn't regret, you know, signing me, right? I was like, man, I hope they don't think I don't belong here or something, because I do. I do belong here. I belong to be at the top because of, you know, just the work and everything that, you know, the tribulations of, you know, we got past. I was like, I know there's something here, and there's something really special. So just stick to it, and can't thank enough. This company really is amazing, and it's exciting, and I love the shows. I love it.
Well, we know you love a great comeback, and nothing better that you can do now than August 12th when you take on DeAnna Bennett at Bellator 284. You told the promotion, you told your manager, you told your coaches, you told yourself that debut fight was not me. That's not the best performance I could put out there. Now, not only do you have a number next to your name, you have a shot at redemption right in front of you. And if you go in and do what you expect to do, what you expected to do in the first fight when you first fought her, if you are victorious, look, first of all, how do you feel about this rematch? And what do you think this rematch opens doors for you? What kind of opportunity? Is it a top 5? Like, where do you see yourself with a victory?
I'm not worried about like, I've seen number 20 beat number 1. You know, the numbers don't matter to me. The rankings, there's a science behind that I don't understand. I have no control over, right? It's nice to have number 1 next to your name. Yeah, sure. But it's just a number for me, right? So what I like, so I leave the numbers, the categories up. My goal in the big picture is the belt, right? And everything is like a little ladder, a little step, and maybe a little fall, but then I'm gonna take another step. And so those steps and the size of those steps, I think those are like that's for Bellator to handle. What I know is I asked for this rematch, and, you know, being number 1, I was like, man, I don't know where to go next. But I believe that if I put on the show that I see that I'm working towards every day right now, if I put on that kind of show, I think it could, I very well could see being a title fight next. I could see that happening. But if Bellator doesn't think I'm ready, okay, that's fine. You know, whatever they think is fine. But I just know good things happen when I put my best foot forward, when I have a good show and a good night, and it's on my pace, right? So doing everything I can to control the circumstances that I can control. And yeah, again, I asked for this rematch the same night I fought DeAnna, because I did not get out the gate the way I wanted to. It was just, I blame just taking a little too much and not doing well, just absorbing and staying focused. I'm at fault for kind of losing focus at that. So I want to show my coaches that I just wasn't focused that night. I've got this. I know every move I'm going to do is going to be intentional versus, oh, I don't know, but I'm going to do it. No, this next fight, I'm going to know everything I'm going to do is going to have purpose.
Now, there's obviously a competitive advantage going up against someone you've already fought before, but also same can be said to her, right? She knows a lot about you, but even though you say, hey, that wasn't my performance, that wasn't me,
that night.
right? But there's still kind of a familiarity, and there's still tape, and there's still knowledge of you. So how do you kind of take, yes, that wasn't my best performance, and she's going to see someone completely different, but she may also say the same thing. So how do you approach this? Do you approach this as, yes, I do have some sort of familiarity with her, or is it, this is a new fight, I know the name, but it's a completely new fight?
It's a very great question, because she's very familiar with me too, and it wasn't my best. I do love the element of surprise. I love it. That's a difficult question, really. That's something different. That's something I'll be thinking about probably for the day. But I'm not concerned. I'm not worried. I mean, I don't feel threatened. I've got to be smarter in there. She was very smart last fight, so I've got to be smarter. So these are little steps that I'm taking for a different kind of outcome. And we are both familiar with each other, and it makes things harder at this level when there is so much tape and there is so much footage. It definitely makes things so much harder. But then that's when the importance of your gym and the protection that you have there, that's when that really matters to me, making sure that. And at this level, we're both good, right? So then protecting the game plan, protecting the maneuvers that we want to practice and hone in on, and just drill and instill, and it be muscle memory. So I think it's important having a sense of protection, because I feel protected right now, and I can practice at ease and do what I want to execute and exercise the game plan that I see myself having on August 12th. So that's where I am now. So I'm like, man, it's just nice having this level of protection, and protection meaning privacy, right? Because I'm like, man, everyone knows what I'm going to do. How do you stay above that, right? That's a question every day. It's like, they already know what you're going to do. How do you get above it? How do you get above that bar? Because I know what she's going to do. She knows what I'm going to do. So just trying to find a different kind of space and finding a different kind of way to fill that in, I guess. That's a great question.
Well, I hope you don't think on it too much. It's just coming from me. So it's no. But with that protection and privacy, Justine, I can't wait. And it's just more reason for everyone to sign up for Showtime and obviously order Bellator 284. Get on it. This is going to be a hell of a fight on August 12th. I can't wait for it. And Justine, I'm not just saying this because you're on the other side of the camera and you could beat me up. I am saying this genuinely. I hope it's not years between the next time we talk and now.
Okay, you're right.
Honestly, your story of redemption and comeback is something that I got into this sport for. And it's not just wins or losses. I think you truly have a story that can resonate with men, women, young fighters, older fighters, and people who never knew they were fighters. So I literally commend you on everything you're doing. I'm so excited for you for this rematch. And excited for it for DeAnna as well, right? Because it's a fight that has high expectations and probably a high reward for the winners. So, and it just means good things for everyone. And honestly, I credit Bellator for not looking the other way and giving you this platform. Knowing you for the time that I have known you, I think you're just someone who is better in their own element and not marching to the beat of someone else's drum as you were in your other promotion. And I truly think Bellator is a perfect place for you. And I think you will continue to provide great results for them.
Man, those are beautiful words. That speaks to the heart. Thank you. That was very cool to hear.
Of course. So hopefully, again, it's not 3 years from now, and then the next time we talk. No, I wish you all the best. Justine Kish taking on DeAnna Bennett, Bellator 284, August 12th. Get it on Showtime. Obviously, prelims on YouTube. Justine, thank you so much.
Thank you for this time.